drops for the Bengals, it dropped for the Patriots, it drops for everyone. So this is not unique. I know you would like to think it is, Skip Bayless. It's unique to the Dallas Cowboys.
It is.
But it is not. And the Cowboys should have thought about this beforehand. And I love how, due to unforeseen circumstances, nobody envisioned COVID-19 would impact or do what it did, or let alone get here, but do what it did to our economy. And so, yes, it's the Cowboys might be under restriction, the NFL. But let me ask you a question, Skip. Due to unforeseen circumstances, so what about Dak? So Dak should assume all the risk? The Cowboys get opportunities like, well, some players might have to give back money or some vets might get cut. That's always the case. There's always big dollar veterans that get cut because you can get lower value guys in the draft or someone on a lower salary. So this will not be unique. They're trying to make it unique. It's like, well, we've never seen anything like this. They cut players all the time. Ask Todd Gurley, ask Leonard Floyd. They cut them. So that happens. I think the thing is, Skip, is that Dak is saying, and I've said this from day one, I believe Dak is going to be forced to play on that franchise tag. Mm-hmm. And by playing on the franchise tag, next year, Skip, we're going to be back in the same boat. Because the longer this drags out, the less likely Dak is to want to give you a deal, Skip. I mean, especially what we call a hometown discount. Maybe take 5% less than what he would normally take on the open market. And so Dak is like, okay, you made me play the contract completely out, and you franchise me. And now you want me to come back and give you a deal? Nah, that's not going to happen, Skip. So, Jerry, there's going to be the franchise tag. There's no way around it. I don't see a deal getting done, especially to Dak's liking, especially now to the Cowboys' liking, Skip, if the cap is going to drop by that much. Mm-hmm. That's going to be asking an awful lot of a team to invest that kind of money in that short amount of time, given that this year, and who knows, even next year, might be a drop in salary cap space. Mm-hmm.
I hate to agree with you, but every point you made is dead on right. And unfortunately, I'm in trouble with my quarterback and his negotiation and his future with my Dallas Cowboys. The window has closed to make a deal with Dak Prescott. That's what I believe, and that's what I'm going to believe until the last drop-dead day, which is July the 15th, that they have time to get a deal done before that. And he's going to have to accept or reject the franchise tag on July the 15th.
Correct.
And then I don't know what's going to happen after that. You're right. Now Jerry's only exit strategy here is franchise tag, maybe 2-second franchise tag.
Right.
That would be $31.4 million this coming year to about 37-ish the next year.
Correct.
For an average of around 35-ish, which I believe is pretty close to the offer that's on the table right now. So Jerry could rationalize, well, I could have him for 2 more years at about the kind of money that's on the table in the offer that we've presented right now.
Right.
So he could say, yeah, not bad. I told you from the start, franchise tags do not work. For both the team and the player, they're often just one-way streets to you-know-where, to no good.
Yeah, exactly.
And Kirk Cousins pulled it off, and I guess you could say he won. He made a ton of money.
He did.
And yet Washington lost because Washington never could commit to Kirk Cousins.
Right.
Well, we'll go this far, but we can't go that way. You always use the marriage analogy.
Right.
We'll live with you, but we will not give you a ring.
Correct.
There was no ring given to Kirk, and then he hit the lottery. He gets $28 million a year guaranteed for 3 years to Minnesota, and then he gets another extension.
2 years, 66 guaranteed.
Okay, way to go, Kirk. So you beat the system, Kirk Cousins.
Right.
I still don't believe in you, Kirk Cousins, the way I believe in Dak Prescott. But what happened with Dak, if we believe the Yahoo reporting that we responded to last week, I believe Jerry, right on schedule, about 1.5 years ago, as soon as Dak Prescott became eligible to get his new big deal as a 4th-round draft choice, I believe they offered. Now, was it insulting? I have no idea. But they did offer something probably in the neighborhood, if not slightly more, than Goff and Carson Wentz, right?
Yep.
And that was 1.5 years ago. So they danced and they arm wrestled all through camp. And then it looked like right on schedule, Zeke just signed.
Right.
And I sat right here in this chair, and it's so great to be back in this chair. And I pounded this desk, and I said, here comes the Dak deal. Right on time.
Right.
We're going to have 2 nuclear signings right before the season opener against the Giants, and it'll launch us into the season, right? Launch right into the season. And I waited, and nothing happened.
Right.
And after the Giants win, Dak played great in that game. They won easily, but obviously the Giants turned out to be not very good. That was still the Eli Giants. Right. Jerry said right after the game, when he always holds his big press conference, he said, the Dak deal is imminent.
Right.
That meant, somebody said, what do you mean by imminent? That means days.
Right.
That means, okay, and I'm thinking, okay, this week is it. And we're waiting, and I'm waiting. Well, tomorrow we're gonna lead undisputed with the Dak signing, aren't we? Nope, we're not, because it did not happen. So now everybody's saying Dak's betting on himself.
Right.
And he bet on himself game 2. It's at rival Redskins. They weren't very good last year, but we weren't sure about that early in the year. Big game by Dak Prescott. So he goes QBR of 94 Giants, 94 at Redskins. That scale 0 to